kick me, you idiot! Oh, this is only second down. Oh, my poor shin. I've had it ever since I was a little girl. Oh. Goodness, no. No, it didn't hurt the least little bit. Then it was all my fault. No, really, it was. Well, there's things to me to say that. Why did he have to kick me? It wasn't as if my foot was right there. On my shin. Yes. It's a lovely waltz, isn't it? It's the loveliest waltz. Oh. I think it's lovely too. Look at him. Never thought of the consequences, hurling himself in every scrimmage. Eyes shining, cheeks ablaze. What's it to him if I have to spend the next couple of years in a plaster cast? Who wants to live forever? Look at the spirit he's putting into a dreary, commonplace waltz. He is youth and vigor and courage and strength. And oh, my foot. Oh. No. No, it didn't hurt the least little bit. And again, it was all my fault. No, really it was. Well, you see that little step of yours? It's perfectly lovely. It's just a bit tricky to follow at first. Oh. Oh, did you make it up yourself? You did? Aren't you amazing? Oh. But now I think I've got it. It's awfully effective when you look at it. I bet I'm awfully effective when you look at me. My hair's hanging in my cheeks. My skirt's swallowed about me. I can feel a cold damp on my brow. I must look like something the cat dragged in. And he worked up his little step himself. He with his degenerate cunning. Oh, and it was just a bit tricky to follow at first. But now I think I've got it. 2 slips, a stumble, and a 20-yard dash. Yes, I got it. Oh, I hate this creature I'm chained to. And here I've been locked in this noxious embrace for the past 35 years. This waltz has lasted. Is that orchestra never going to stop playing? They're going to play an encore. Oh, goody. Tired? I should say I'm not tired. I could go on like this forever. Oh, I should say I'm not tired. I'm dead, that's all I am. And we're going to go on like this, double time Charlie and I, throughout eternity. I wonder why I didn't tell him I was tired. I wonder why I didn't just suggest going back to the table. I could have said, let's just listen to music. But then again, if I had, I'd probably have to talk to him. Look at him! What would you say to a thing like that? Did you go to the circus this year? What's your favorite kind of ice cream? How do you spell cat? I'm past all feeling now. The only way I can tell when he steps on me is I'm near the splintering of bones. I think my mind is beginning to wander.
Mr. Osborne, could you come to the office a minute, please?
It almost seems as if the orchestra was stopping. But that can never be. Yet, in my ears, there's a silence. The sound of angel voices. Oh, they stopped the mean things. They're not going to play anymore. Oh, do you think they would? Do you really think they would? If you gave them $20. And look, dear tell them to play the exact same thing. I would simply adore the Dawn Waltz. In your future, I foresee great fortune, much happiness, a change in your career direction. There are some twists and curves in your future, but you will overcome them successfully. A nice prediction indeed. It's the type of future we all wish for. Happiness, fortune, success. Peering into the crystal ball of our future is a very tempting thought. The mind is full of curiosity and desire to know the unknown. This is especially true of scientists. They are continually probing and examining to discover the secrets of the mysterious. This curiosity has opened a new and exciting door, a chance to, in a sense, foresee our future. Not whether we'll meet the great love of our life, but something more serious, the future of our individual health. This knowledge is obtainable through genetics, medicine's amazing leap. Today, I will inform you about genetic research and testing. I will first briefly describe how genetic testing and research came about and how it works. Next, I will inform you of some of the medical breakthroughs that have resulted. And finally, I will tell you some of the fears and concerns that such knowledge raises. In 1953, James Watson, a young American biologist of 24, with the assistance of Francis Crick, 35, of England, discovered the structure of DNA, the material from which genes are made. This discovery helped to create the foundation of genetic research. James Watson, now 63, is helping to direct one of the greatest genetic research efforts ever, the Human Genome Project. One major goal of this project is to map exactly the body's 50,000 to 100,000 genes on the 23 pairs of chromosomes. Another goal or benefit of the project would be the identification of single gene defects believed to account for more than 4,000 inherited diseases and the tools with which to detect these. The identification of these disease genes will allow individuals to find out if they have or could possibly be affected by certain diseases or ailments. Scientists are discovering genes at the rate of one a day. What are some of the medical breakthroughs? The genes responsible for lung cancer, as well as colon and breast cancer, Alzheimer's disease, emphysema, coronary heart disease, multiple sclerosis, cystic fibrosis, and Fragile X syndrome have all been discovered, as well as many, many others. The identification of these disease genes is an amazing step indeed. The next step is using this knowledge to stop the disease. Scientists are currently experimenting, with some success, with a treatment called gene therapy, where an individual's white blood cells are altered to include healthy copies of a defective gene they have inherited. This is only one example of the several treatments and therapies which are currently being developed and researched. Each genetic discovery is absolutely amazing and almost mind-boggling. To be able to find out what disease or health risk lies 10, 20, 40 years from now, it's a dream come true. Or is it? Would it really be the best thing for individuals to find out? And who really does have the right to know? These are some questions that legal scholars and bioethicists are very concerned about. The possibilities for abuse of this technology. It opens new doors for discrimination. There is no constitutional protection for the human genome, so anyone might be able to get a hold of your private genetic file. Why would somebody want this information?
Suppose you applied for a job and were not hired because your prospective employer got a hold of your genetic file and discovered that although you are very healthy right now, you hold the gene for a possible heart attack. Not only would employers benefit from this information, so would insurance companies. Genetic testing would allow insurers the same benefit of employers to find out what health problems an individual may face and to decide whether or not to insure a person due to this possible risk or to raise premiums due to this risk. Another fear held by many is that this information will be used to create a perfect race. The genetic testing is possible before birth, and parents will be able to find out what health problems their child may face, whether their child will be obese, have a learning disability, or so forth. This raises many issues. The availability of such information could create abuse of this technology and could also greatly increase the number of abortions and the losses of very, very special lives. A final aspect that must be considered is if you're from a family that suffers from inherited disease, is it in your best interest to find out if you have or could possibly pass it on? This is a very difficult question with several pros and cons. It can be very irritating and bothersome to know that there is a chance. Yet at the same time, it can be earth-shattering to discover that you do have the disease that destroyed your mother's life, your sister's life, and will now destroy your own. Several individuals are faced with such a dilemma, and it simply boils down to their own individual need to know. One researcher, Jose Ardarvas, while doing research on a gene linked to heart attacks at a young age, discovered that he himself had the gene. He became so upset, he almost had a heart attack. He now feels differently about his research. Our discoveries are great for science, he says, but on a personal level, I'm no longer so sure it's an advantage to know these things. Genetic research is the exciting and ever-changing science of today. In fact, just this February, the gene responsible for adult muscular dystrophy was located. With these daily discoveries, the crystal ball will become a thing of the past. Let us hope that future scientists treat this new knowledge with the same care the fortune teller did her crystal ball. As Montaigne once said, science without conscience is but the death of the soul. Albert Einstein once said, science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Perhaps, perhaps not. But what happens when a man uses a questionable scientific technique to con people out of their money, and later makes that scientific technique a religion in order to benefit from the constitutional protections allowed religions? This is the scenario of a 20-year-old religion called Scientology. Scientology, as a science, really began about 40 years ago and claimed to be able to end grief, to help its followers find a place in this world, to foretell the future, especially awful things that would happen, and to be able to help change this terrible fate. Today, Scientology's main goal and mission is to clear people of unhappiness through methods Scientologists claim pay off. However, in the case of Noah Lottig, this claim didn't hold true. Noah Lottig appeared to be a happy, normal 24-year-old, searching, like many, for his place in this world. One day last June, 24-year-old Noah Lottig jumped from a 10th floor window of the Milford Plaza Hotel in New York City. Clutched in his hands, the young man held $171, his entire fortune. The so-called Church of Scientology had previously obtained the rest. The church claims to be a self-help group with benefits. The only catch is Scientologists don't mention who really benefits, the individuals behind Scientology and them alone. To truly understand the gravity of this situation, we must first learn about the beginnings and development of Scientology. Second, look at Scientology as it exists today. And finally, discover what can be done to put an end to one of the greatest scams of all time. Scientology, a mental science, was founded in 1954 by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard. Scientology is based on a book written by Hubbard in 1950 called Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health. In this book, Hubbard discussed a psychotherapeutic technique